you should have just spent 5 minutes trying your quick pick number 4 in your quick pick book. If you haven't done it yet, go back and do it. You don't get to watch this video until you've given them all a try. So make sure you've done that first. So we're going to look at number 1. Number 1 asks you, what is the next number in the pattern below? A tip for these is to always say it out loud, because you'll start to hear the pattern if you don't see the pattern. So the first number is 110, 120, 130. Do you hear something familiar? Does it sound like we're counting by tens? 10, 20, 30? It's because we are counting by tens. So if I counted by tens all the way to 100, which you all know how to do, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, the next number would be 110, and then 120, 130. So what should go here? 10, 20, 30, 40, 140. So your answer should have been C, 140. Okay, so let's do the second one. The second one has this great big number, and it asks you what the value of the 8 is. When you hear what is the value, I want you to think place value, okay? Place value, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. All right, so where's the 8? The 8 is in the hundreds. So the value of the 8 is 800, which was choice C. We're going to learn expanded form very soon, and this number written out in expanded form would be 6,000 plus 800 plus the 9's in the tens place, so that's 90 plus 3. So you can see the 8 is 800. The next one you needed your ruler for, and it asked you to measure the car in centimeters. Now remember, centimeters are the little numbers that are right next to each other on one side of your ruler. Inches are further apart, and it says cm on your ruler over by the 0. That's centimeters. So first you have to make sure you're using the right measurement. Make sure you're using centimeters. Next, you have to make sure your ruler is lined up with the end of the car, and then you look at the other end, and that says 5. So this car was 5 centimeters long. Number 4, you should be a star at, because we just did a whole unit on these shapes and vertices, right? It wants to know which shape has the most vertices. So let's start with the cube. Remember, vertices are where the two edges or sides come together and make a point. So the cube has 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. We know our double facts, 4 plus 4 equals 8. So the cube has 8 vertices. Now this is a pyramid that fell over on its side. Pyramid has a square on the bottom. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices, and then it has one at the tippy top where the triangles come together, 5. So we have 8, 5. Now this one is a triangular prism. It has 1, 2, 3 at the front of it, and 1, 2, 3 at the back of it. That's 6. So we have 8, 5, 6. And now look at this hexagonal prism. Wow, there's a bunch of little points on here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 on the top. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom. That's 8. But I also see 9, 10, 11, 12. So which one had the most vertices of these shapes? The hexagonal prism, D. Okay. One more. You have a graph. We've had graphs on several of our quick picks, but this graph, this question asks you something a little different than it has before. it asks you the second largest number. So not the largest number, but the one right after, one right before it. So if it asks you the largest number, that would be pretty easy. You would look for the tallest bar, which is this one, 301. But it wants to know which one would be next. Let's say that one's not there. Now, which is the largest? That's how you find the second largest. You get rid of the largest and look for the next one. This one way over here is the second tallest, right? And that is 210. So A would have been your quick pick answer for that problem. So I